Well, I was at home trying to decide whether to go back to college or take a job up at home, and I really wanted to see the world. And since my dad was in the Air Force, I knew quite a bit about it, and so I started asking around what jobs would I like to see the world, and so it came up Loadmaster, C5 Loadmaster, and I enlisted. I was only going to be in for 4 years, but I liked it so much I stayed in 29. Well, like I said earlier, I really enjoyed it. I was just planning on getting my degree and get back out, but seeing that I was making an impact in the military, flying around, involved in anything that was in the news, it was enjoyable. I think the one that gave me the most pride was, I was just thinking about this the other day, as a matter of fact. I was in the Philippines, and we went out to get alerted, and we were going to Okinawa, which would have been like a 2-hour flight. But the military medevac broke, so they asked us if we could do it. And so we had the pilot had to ask us, get permission from us, because it was going to extend our crew duty day to 24 hours, and we were only allowed to do 12. And but it was because of 2 babies. One was a premature, and one was abused, beat up by its dad. So we had to set up in the cargo box a medical facility for them. And so when we found out what we were doing, we were all saying, oh, let's do it. Let's screw it, whatever. We'll get them there. And so we took off out of there. Right when we took off, I remember one of the babies going in cardiac arrest. And we thought we were going to have to turn around and go back, but the doctors were able to get him there. And it was like a 15-hour flight. And by the time we landed, it was like 26 hours. But both babies survived, so that's probably one of the turning points in my career. That was early in my career. Believe it or not, I went straight in junior ROTC. I had been thinking about it for the last probably since 2001, before 9/11. I had talked to a friend of mine who was getting out, and he was going to be a junior ROTC instructor, so I started asking questions. And then I started researching more, and a few of my other friends had joined, so I kept asking them questions. And by the time it was time to retire, I had already looked into it, and that's what I really wanted to do. I mean, I was looking at other jobs, but I knew I always wanted to be a teacher. And so for me to be a junior ROTC, get back to the military, I think it was a great way for me to pursue education.